playing this
Another,
weekend. I think
he's a
that
bodyguard and he
players,
has
you know,
resist
they're brewing
1.
up some
It would
cool
be
and
really
interesting
interesting to see him
decks.
on the
I
board,
spy
like with a Cogsworth with
Ruby.
resist 2.
and Amethyst on
But we
that
haven't
side of
seen
the
him come into
table.
play.
So it looks like players are
So we haven't yet. It'd be fun to see him on the board, but at this point, it doesn't do a ton for Kyle. Danny, looks like
this is going to be a fun
looks like
matchup.
Danny
So
scooped and gave him the game. All right, seeing the writing on the wall. Wow.
Yes.
So
That was incredible. So both games, we kind of saw a similar thing happen with that
sort of
Sapphire
type
Steel
decks
deck
again,
just
but
coming.
All right, seeing the writing on the wall.
Yes. On it. They pick the cards
So
that
we
they use,
see him on the board, but
and
at this
they
point, it
tool
doesn't do a
into their
ton for
own
Kyle.
way. So
Danny,
I'm really
looks
excited to see
like
how this goes down.
looks like
there's so much,
Danny
especially as we get more and more
scooped and
cards
gave him the game.
cool
All right,
cards
seeing the
for
writing.
Disney Lorcana, you know, each set, you know, the decks pairings are going to look slightly different from player to player. Lots of little variations, and in some cases, you might just have a player decide to play a certain card because it's from their favorite movie,
Yeah.
or a favorite character, or art they love.
Yeah, your own little personal touch on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so altering the hands, if players are watching, if you don't know, in Disney Lorcana, you have an opportunity to alter your opening hand where you can discard up to 7 cards, redraw, and so both players have done that, and now we're jumping in.
Isaac inked a golden harp to play Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, which I'm very excited to see that he's playing golden harp in this deck. She is super powerful if you're able to play songs, but when she is in play, if you don't play a song, she gets banished.
Banished.
So
Wow.
I'm very excited to see her come up again.
Yeah, Golden Harp, super fun. Over on Zan's side, we saw that Chernobog's Followers come down, which is a great card. It can replace itself whenever that character quests. You can banish them to draw a card, but he did not get to the Chernobog's Followers. Did not stick around for long because Isaac said, "Let the storm rage on."
Oh, let the storm. I can't do it the same as you. We're playing Ariel Spectacular Singer, allowing Isaac to do a quick peek. Top 4 cards. He was able to get another Let the Storm Rage on. And now that he has 2 characters in play along with that Pirate Pooh Captain Piglet, Piglet will quest for 2 additional lore.
Piglet is such a fantastic card. He's adorable, first of all.
Yes.
I love the Piglet Pooh Pirate. And the ability to get that extra lore when you have 2 or more characters.
Absolutely. And aren't we all a little stronger with friends?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So Isaac has been keeping like a pretty tight leash on to what Zan is doing on that side. The Brawl taking out the Ariel, which is a bit of a hit because she was. Isaac's
Never mind.
got another on deck. Let's do another 4 and see another Let the Storm Rage on. I think that's the third one.
That's the third one that we've seen, which I know it's such a great card. You get the card draw, but also there's lots of other song cards, songs in the Steel Song deck that are just really fabulous. Every song is great.
Absolutely. And like Leah mentioned in our last game that, Steel Song tends to run almost a third of their cards as songs.
Mm-hmm. And Zan, he was able to use that Brawl on Ariel, but it's really unfortunate that Flynn got taken off the board. Such a strong card. Having that Flynn Sisu opening is something that the Ruby Amethyst players really want to see. So that was unfortunate. We do see a rabbit come out here, which is great, especially for card draw. If you can get it bouncing with some mims is really, really nice. But yeah, unfortunately for Zan, Isaac has the board control right now.
Absolutely. Isaac inking Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, playing Strength of the Raging Fire, doing 3 damage on that Merlin, which forces him to be banished. But at least when he leaves play, we still get that card draw.
We do, which, so that might deter some players from banishing a card like Merlin because you think, oh, that's going to give my opponent an extra card. But because of the Madam Mims being able to bounce it back and forth, you're really stopping that from happening.
From becoming a back and forth,
Yes,
back and forth, back
yes.
and forth. Yeah.
And there's that Sisu, which is such a fabulous card. So here's a fun fact about Sisu. In the movie, she doesn't have any magical powers as a dragon, but all her siblings do. Oh. And so she gets the magical powers from the siblings when she touches the dragon gemstone. But in Disney Lorcana, Sisu is pretty magical.
So magical.
Yeah, she gets extra strength for every card that's in your opponent's hand, and she quests for 2, a really fabulous card.
Absolutely. Looks like Isaac now has an uncontested board.
Yes, and I think that Zan knew the writing on the wall and actually just decided to call it a game. He was not able to keep up, and Isaac took game 1.
Wow, that was a fantastic victory. Again, we talk about this a lot. Just there's a huge component of getting the cards when you need them.
When you need them. And Isaac had every card that he needed, and Zan was not finding the answers that he needed.
No, and Zan is such he's such a great player, and he knows his deck so well, and he was able to be like, this isn't going to happen this time.
Right.
But like, let's go on to game 2.
Let's go on to game 2.
And see what's what.
But that Steel Song deck did exactly what it's meant to do.
Absolutely.
So let's see if it happens again. Let's just dive into game 2.
Let's do it.
All right, so Zan, I know, like you said, he decided to just call it game. But going into game 2, it's going to be really interesting to see if he can find the answers that he needs. Last time he wasn't able to keep any characters on the board. We really want to see that Flynn Sisu combination come out. Maybe some Queen's Castles, which we didn't see from Zan last game.
Yeah,
and I assume that they're in his deck. Queen's Castle is such a key card.
Yes, absolutely, and yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's still the best location in Disney Lorcana. I think it's so good with the card draw, the 7 willpower. There's not a lot of answers for it.
No.
Steel, of course, does have answers for locations.
Yes. They have a few. I'm not sure what all Isaac is running that can take out the Queen's Castle.
There is a Long Came Zeus, which can do 5 damage on a character or location. So you could use that in combination with another character. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Isaac getting his first singer on the board, Ursula.
I love this Ursula. I was so happy when Vanessa made an appearance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many good singers. We did see that Cinderella. There's Ursula. There's Ariel. I just love the singers in Disney Lorcana.
Just because you're one of them.
Oh, thank you.
We think of Disney Lorcana singers. I think of you.
I do love to sing. There's a lot of good singers in the Lorcana community.
Absolutely.
All right, so we don't have a Flynn on the board, but we do have that Sisu. We have the Madam Mim Snake, which, I mean, even though it's not a high quester, it is nice that it's a 3/3 character and maybe can be an answer for some of the characters on Isaac's side of the board.
Absolutely. That strength is quite solid for a 2. With the Spectacular Singer coming down, it looks like Isaac was able to pull a whole new world out of that. And when... we have...
And then along came Zeus.
And Sisu's out. Yeah.
I love that card. Along came Zeus. Like I just was saying earlier, it can do 5 damage to a character or a location. It can be sung as a song. It's uninkable, but it's such a great card that I know Steel Song decks are usually running at least 2 copies of it.
Absolutely. And the other whole new world is also uninkable. And I do realize that it is very nice when you get it off of a singer with Ariel, because now Zan knows it's there.
Yes. Yep. Well, we have more bouncing going on over here on Zan's side of the board. And a little magic broom coming down. Just a 1-cost character here. It's a 1/2 character. It's very similar to Chernobog's followers, but different that when you play another character, you can choose to banish magic broom to draw a card. So whereas Chernobog's followers, you quest and can choose to banish, you do have to have another character. But both of those cards in the Ruby Amethyst deck are really there to help with the card draw and look for those cards that you're going to want in this game.
Absolutely. Isaac did something very cool here. He knocked his Ursula Vanessa into Madam Mim, taking 3 damage, and then immediately playing
Rapunzel,
who is able to heal up to 3 and draw 3 cards. So excellent being able to kind of damage your own characters to draw some cards there.
Absolutely. Yeah, Rapunzel is from set 1, and I would argue is still one of the best cards in Amber to have as part of your deck, and she's been good every set.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She has definitely survived this entire year being very, very important.
Yes. Can you believe that we're a year into Disney Lorcana? It's so exciting.
Absolutely.
It's been such an amazing first year, and these challenges have been one of the amazing things about the first year of Lorcana. And here we see Zan deciding to challenge with both Madam M Snake and Magic Broom to banish that Ursula and then friends on the other side into the Inkwell.
Oh, yes.
And we do have him choosing to banish that Magic Broom, as I was saying earlier, when that Maui came in, and then using Maui to banish that Ariel Singer. And Zan knows that whole new world is in Isaac's hand because he picked it up earlier when he played Ariel. So really smart here. Rapunzel can't sing a whole new world, being only a 4-cost character. So if Isaac wants to play whole new world, he's going to have to use his ink to do that.
Absolutely, yeah, and getting those singers off the table was a great move.
Was that a Cinderella?
It was a Cinderella Stouthearted, yes. Rapunzel singing "Let the Storm Rage On," doing 2 damage to that Maui and drawing a card. We got Robin Hood coming down,
and then we're going to take out that Maui completely. This is really interesting. This has kind of been a lot of back and forth. Neither one of the players is pulling really far ahead. Zan does have 3 lore. Isaac is still not on the board yet, but the board state just kind of keeps going a little bit back and forth, just no one able to make a really big jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaac got that Maui out, and another one comes down, taking out his Rapunzel.
Talking about cards that have been good since set 1.
Absolutely.
Maui, I think, especially Ruby players, but I think most people would agree that Maui is one of the best cards in all of Disney Lorcana. It's just so powerful.
Absolutely. Recently, we've had a couple of new Rush characters, with Hercules and stuff, but people keep gravitating toward that Maui. He has a lot of good staying power.
He does, and he's inkable. He's so good.
Isaac dropping the whole new world. He unfortunately had to pay ink for it instead of being able to sing it.
You want to know a fun fact about Maui?
Always.
Is that he was actually, the look of Maui was designed after the Rock's grandfather.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes. Oh, there's that harp coming down like you were talking about.
There she is. And because A Whole New World was played this turn, she gets to hang out another day.
She can hang out for another turn. This card is so interesting to me because you would think, oh, maybe she won't stay on the board very long. But this deck, like you're saying, is really designed to have song after song after song after song.
Absolutely. Yeah. With so many cards being song, you want to keep playing them. We saw in the last match a lot of use of the Sleepy's Flute. I don't know if Isaac is running it, but we have not seen that yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Sleepy's Flute is a really great card in the Steel Song deck because it's that uncontested lore. When you have it on the board, you just gain a lore if you played a song during your turn.
Absolutely.
It looks like when Isaac played Whole New World that Madame Medusa went into the discard pile on Zan's side. Madame Medusa is such a strong card and is a really great answer for a lot of cards in Isaac's deck.
Absolutely. Yes.
I want to say even Robin Hood is, I believe, just 3 strength. And so, and it's such a strong character that it's, oh, and there's a Madame Medusa coming down.
Mm-hmm. I lied about the golden harp. Continuing to strum another day.
She did not stay around for long.
Not so much. And also, yeah, singers amazing at singing their songs. Their songs are really their power. So not a huge lot of strength generally coming off of them. Of course, exceptions. This is a great card to have in this deck, Mr. Smee.
Ooh, is it Smee you're looking for?
Oh my goodness.
Bare necessities. So we're getting a good look here at Zan's hand. Be prepared went into the discard. Bare Necessities. Talk about that card because I just love it.
Oh, Bare Necessities is fantastic for only 2 ink or a singer 2. You get to look at your opponent's entire hand and discard any card that's not a character, which means you got songs, actions, items, locations.
So many things that can be discarded. And there was a lot that Zan had in his hand. I saw that he also had a Sorcerer's Spellbook that was in his hand. But of course, that Be Prepared is the largest looming threat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's building up a beautiful wide board and then that coming down does not feel so good.
Oh, I think it feels great.
Oh, you love it?
When I'm the one playing it.
Oh, there you go. That's the difference.
Yes,
for sure.
Oh, we see a Merlin goat coming down on Zan's side of the board. We love this goat, especially when you can start bouncing him like Zan is doing here.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, except he is deciding to bring the Mim snake back. So
heal her up.
Yep. That's great. And then, of course, then that snake is in hand and can bounce the Merlin goat back next turn.
Absolutely.
This is quite a board here that Zan has. And Isaac, I mean, he does have that Smee, but he doesn't. Oh, a Perdita.
A Perdita, Devoted Mother, a really great card. When you play her or when she quests, you're able to pull a character 2 or less and play it for free. So we have Robin Hood back. But comparing Zan's board right now compared to last game, absolutely stunning. He's got so many great characters and that with so much versatility and utility, really.
Yes, he has quite a lot here. And Isaac doesn't really have a lot of high strength characters to deal with some of these things on Zan's side of the board.
No, I mean, you look at Ursula, you look at Robin Hood, you look at Perdita, just like 1 or 2.
Yeah. We're going to take out, let's see here. Maui is running into Mr. Smee? No, I can't quite tell what Zan is doing here. Maybe he's still deciding. There, I think that's really interesting though, like seeing him take some time here to decide what he wants to do. And it's all these little micro decisions that end up with a player winning or losing a game is which character am I going to challenge into the character on the other side of the board and making the right decisions there. So we see Madame Medusa into the Robin Hood and Maui into Mr. Smee. Medusa stays on the board. She is a 4/4 character, so she would have lived even if she had challenged into Smee. But, and then bounced back with a snake and replayed Medusa.
Yes, to take out Perdita, which a really fantastic move because like even Zan had so many options of what to bounce to get the goat or possibly bounce the Mim back because she has the rush to play her again. So it's just all those little decisions that these players make and they're playing at such a high level that it really makes such a huge difference in the long term with these games.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if we see that spellbook come down on Zan's side of the board. In round 1, we saw a Ruby Amethyst player that had spellbook in their deck, and I feel like we did not see a lot of spellbook when Bucky was around. And so it's interesting this weekend seeing some of the Ruby Amethyst decks have that spellbook included in the list. And I wonder if part of that is just because with Bucky, you're more likely to lose a card out of your hand from the discard that you would never get the value from that spell book. But now that discard is not as much of a threat with Bucky gone, that we've seen that card now come back into these decks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because these decks are so tooled to the different decks that these players expect to play. And so when one card comes out that really, really shakes things up, you just see these little changes happening. And that's what I've been so excited to see this weekend is because we know a lot of these decks pretty well and just seeing the small changes and how different those are.
Yep. And there's another Perdita that Isaac brought out. I do love Perdita. She's so fun.
It's a really, really, really fun card.
Why?
Two of them.
What's better than one spellbook is two
spellbooks. Yeah. So Zan will be able to exert this for 1 ink or every turn and get a lore.
Yeah. I mean, Isaac needs to win on this next turn or really
We're in trouble.
do something, because Zan is sitting here at 17 lore
Oh.
and he has 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board just with characters. You have that goat that could potentially bounce back or be banished and gain a lore, and then 2 spell books. That spell book might spell the end of this game for Isaac.
Absolutely. Isaac able to play his entire hand, and it still looks.
Yep, and you saw him put his hands up.
Like that was
what Isaac was saying, I don't think there's anything else here that I can do. This game, Zan takes game.